Turns out there's an exploit in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled that allows you to have an infinite amount of boost. Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new video. CTR is an intricate kart racing game that is easy to learn but has deep, intense mechanics to master, which is one of its biggest selling points. From maintaining blue fire, air braking, U-turning, and more, you can really dig deep into its racing mechanics. But as time goes on, more and more mechanics and discoveries keep popping up. Now, for this video, I partnered up with the competitive CTR community, a group of CTR players who compete and speedrun the game. And I gotta say, they wipe the floor with people. Watching them race is kind of insane, but I was approached by Lenny, who created a text guide on this interesting technique in CTR. I was asked if I could do a video kind of summarizing how to do this technique while also leaving the full document in the description below. So as many of you may know, CTR has a secret mechanic called reserves. I'm not going to get into a deep dive of that because I've already said it in many other videos, but to quickly summarize, the more you boost and the more you chain them perfectly together, the longer your said boost will last. Chaining these boosts together fills an unseen bar that is called reserves. The more that's in the reserves, the longer the boost survives before dying out. But that requires you to be constantly power sliding, jumping, and boosting. But what if there was a way to do it without needing the power slide? Turns out there is a very specific method that allows you to do this. All you need is one specific item, the super engine. This was an item that at one point was only exclusive in battle mode, but to create a new catch-up mechanic, Beanox added it to the main portion of the racing. How this engine works in terms of coding and usage is actually quite weird, which allows for this very specific exploit. Normally, when you get the item, you activate it, allow yourself a bit longer of a boost than the normal, and then go back to racing. But there is yet another use for it. Remember the reserves mechanic I talked about? Turns out the super engine actually feeds into it pretty significantly, which is what we're going to be exploiting. With it, we're going to have crazy top speeds without needing to power slide and gain boosts. This is what it looks like. See how long that lasted? Now, I did it in battle mode because honestly, it can be annoying to find it while racing online and to record it. But nonetheless, this also applies in regular racing. 250 Crash 250 has footage of doing it and holding it for a long period of time. The video is in the guide below. But how do you do this? Well, this requires some explaining because it's dependent on how much Wumpa Fruit you have and which level you are racing on. But here is the basics. Gather up some speed by power sliding, jumping, and gaining boosts. Once you have a good flame going, and of course you have the super engine, activate it and then rapidly tap the acceleration button. Keep doing it until the item is used and then hold down on accelerate. Now you have so much reserves, it's practically infinite. You don't need to power slide, boost, or anything. That is until... So, though this technique will allow you to get such a crazy amount of reserves, that doesn't mean that the game's normal mechanics make you exempt. Just like with blue fire, sacred fire, or literally any other speed you can achieve in CTR, if you bonk the wall or get hit by an item, it all goes away in an instant. So if you achieve this, you gotta be careful you don't botch it. You can also use this to get an infinite amount of blue fire on blue fire tracks. Your best bet would be to do this on a blue fire turbo pad to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck. Again, you don't even need a power slide or boost to maintain the crazy speed. But there's also more details that are a little bit more complicated. If you get 10 Wumpa Fruit, the super engine will give you blue fire for a short period of time, even if the track is not blue fire enabled. So does that mean that you can have blue fire on tracks you're not supposed to have permanently? Sadly, no, that would be broken. In fact, you shouldn't even attempt this with a juiced up super engine if you only have sacred fire or below. It doesn't work and will ultimately slow you down. However, if you already have infinite reserves, feel free to use the 10 Wumpa Fruit engine as usual. Now, if you are confused, don't worry, there is a guide and a full breakdown of this entire technique and how to do it, all compiled together by Lenny in the description below. Thanks so much for approaching me about this, Lenny. It was a fun video to make. But will you try and use this technique in online play? Comment below and let me know.
A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.